In this video, we're going back to our example of applying nitrogen to wheat, and we're going to concentrate on the act of deciding whether we're going to produce any wheat or not. And do remember that we have the option of not producing wheat. This first row tells us the consequences of not producing any wheat. We still have to pay $50 of fixed cost, so if we don't produce wheat, we lose $50. Now let's suppose in other videos the wheat price was $4. But now, let's suppose that the wheat price is only $2.70. How much nitrogen do we apply then? Do we even produce any wheat? So wheat price is $2.70. Let's look down. Here are the profits. You know how to calculate this already, so we can just look at them. And if we don't produce anything, any wheat at all, we lose $50. But notice if we do produce wheat, we're always going to lose money. No matter how much wheat we produce, we're always going to lose money because all these numbers are in parentheses. And when you see a number like this, if you see a 2 in parentheses around it, that means -2. That's accounting terminology. And notice here, if you want to lose the least amount of money, then you want to apply 50 pounds of nitrogen, harvest 36 bushels of wheat, and you'll lose $7.80, which is certainly better than losing $50. To the question, do we want to produce wheat or not? Yes, we do want to produce. Absolutely. We want to produce 36 bushels per acre. We're going to lose money, but that helps us lose the least amount of money. To see what's happening here, I want to point out something to you. When we apply 50 pounds of nitrogen per acre and harvest 36 bushels per acre, our revenues are going to be $97.20. Our total variable cost, well, the end cost is going to be the cost of nitrogen is 10 cents per pound. We're going to be applying 50 pounds. That's going to equal 5, and then we add other variable costs. Our total variable cost is then going to equal 55. So total variable cost 55, and then fixed cost, of course, is given over here, is 50. What happens when we're producing wheat, we're going to make this $97.20 in revenues. That's money coming in. And then to produce wheat, we have to buy things like wheat seed and pesticide and fertilizer and tractor fuel. And all those costs are $55, the total variable cost. Those are only the costs that we would incur if we produced wheat. And that's going to equal $42.20. And what we do, we take that $42.20 and we use it to help pay that fixed cost, and that fixed cost was $50. And by doing that, we only lose our $50 minus the 42.2 we used to help pay down the fixed cost. We're only going to lose $7.80. And from this, you can see the result that when you're thinking about whether you should produce wheat or not, so long as you can produce an amount of wheat where your revenues are going to be greater than variable cost, you absolutely do want to produce.